Kia ora, hello and welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan with your weekend weather outlook. And New Zealand's weather kicks off with high pressure, but it doesn't last too long. It's already slipping away by Sunday with heavy rain moving into the west coast. One thing that is common at the moment across New Zealand, it's warmer than usual. We've got a poll running at Weather Watch at the moment. I think we've had 300 votes and about half the people are saying it's definitely warmer than average. There's a big chunk unsure, and the ones that think it's colder is a small percentage, or at least I think it was below 20%. So definitely warmer at the moment, and that's because we're getting a lot of these milder airflows from north of New Zealand, and more of that is about to move in. So no sudden polar blasts at this stage across the New Zealand area. Aussie in the southeast corner, they got some snow yesterday. They've had a few injections of colder southerlies coming through there the last day or two. So let's get into New Zealand's weather for the weekend, and heavy rain on the way for the west coast. On the scale over here, the bright blue you see is actually getting up to about 150 millimetres of rain, possibly even a little bit more than that on some of the peaks. In the more populated places, like for example around Greymouth and Westport, also Taranaki, and also the eastern side of Bay of Plenty, your rainfall totals are up around 60 to even 90 millimetres. So there is some decent rain coming. I should probably tell you over the time frame. Friday to Wednesday. So that's covering from today, Friday, through until Wednesday next week. And the rainfall totals here are probably the more significant ones, but also Eastern Bay of Plenty potentially getting some big downpours. All right, fog will also be an issue on Saturday morning on this map. The areas you see with the bright pink showing some signs of fog or very low cloud. So I think we'll see some typical Waikato fog going down towards Waitomo and Taranaki inland areas, maybe a bit around Waitarapa, and in the South Island, some around maybe Christchurch, Banks Peninsula. You can check the New Zealand fog forecaster, it's the only one in the country, at ruralweather.co.nz. It comes up for whatever location and shows you in graph form where the fog is most likely. Okay, let's get into the actual forecast now with the maps, and Saturday looks like this. Big powerful high pressure, mild northerlies coming down, low pressure near Australia finally falling apart. Still a little bit windy though in that southeastern corner. Otherwise, not much going on. Most of that activity is out around Tasmania or the Tasman Sea itself. But on Sunday, that's when things change. That's when that heavy rain moves into the west coast. Remember, it's coming from north of the screen, so it's got a lot of moisture into it. And the low out here, not really the big sort of driving force, but it is helping to pull down that moisture-rich air in combination with the departing high. So we've got more mild weather. Another thing you might have noticed in northern New Zealand lately, it's been pretty cloudy, so there'll be more clouds coming through with a few drizzle patches. Mostly dry in Canterbury, just maybe a few showers in the foothills, and we do have a little bit of spillover rain or some spits coming over into Southland. Keep up to date with your rainfall totals at Weather Watch and Rural Weather. Next week kicks off with that wet weather moving into the North Island. We talked about Bay of Plenty potentially getting some bigger rainfall totals. It'll be in this sort of line up here where the northerly or nor'west is just lining in to that eastern side of the region. So Monday it kicks off with a few heavy downpours in the north that will slowly track towards the east, and also some heavier falls around Taranaki, but breaking up around the west coast. By Tuesday, we've got a lot of low pressure in the New Zealand area. The side that's got the heaviest rain, that is it in here. And again, Eastern Bay of Plenty and Taranaki perhaps a little bit more exposed. But all that low pressure covering New Zealand means that for next Wednesday, when we kick off Fieldays at Mystery Creek, lots of people will be going there. A lot of low pressure around. So I'm thinking you probably will need a raincoat, but it doesn't look too wet. Just maybe a few showers and drizzle patches and fog patches. It sort of sounds a bit normal to me. So we'll keep an eye on this. It's not fully locked in. As you can see, it's quite a big, messy system. Maybe getting a little bit colder in the lower South Island next Wednesday as well, but there's a big high just here. So that's why we're not getting any major southerly coming through. It's all being blocked off at the moment by a fair bit of high pressure. That's all from me. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.